Hi guys, welcome back to Rybrook BMW. My name's Matt, and finally the brand new BMW Z4 has arrived. So let's take a tour around the exterior features and interior features of this car, then jump inside and take it for a spin. So then let's begin down at the front end of the car, where you can see an awful lot of differences from the previous one. The design language is new and fresh. So first things first, the lights. Now they used to be the horizontal units. They've now changed to these very sleek, elegant vertical units which actually sweep around the side of the car. Kidney grills are still here, as they always will be. However, these feature for the first time ever on a series production car the honeycomb effect, which I think just looks fantastic. And all the intakes and so on down the front have been sculpted fantastically well. Now, check out the side of the car. I'll give you a few seconds just to take in those proportions. It's just fabulous, isn't it? It just looks absolutely wonderful. This is exactly how a sports car should look. Now this car is the M Sport, so you do get the larger alloy wheels. This also has the M Sport Plus pack, which gives you the blue calipers. But this air intake down here is so beautifully sculpted. The lights at the front sculpt around the side, and just look at the side profile. I mean, I cannot get enough of that. It just screams jump in and drive. Round to the back end, you can see that the rear lights move round the side of the car also. The rear of the car is also just beautifully sculpted. The rear 3D lights are a thing of beauty. You also get this built-in rear lip spoiler, which just adds an absolute great feature to the back end. You've also got these big air intakes down here, which just add to the width of the car. It just, in my opinion, is pretty much bang on, absolutely bang on. But does that continue in the interior? Well, let's go and take a look. Now the interior of the Z4 continues that new crisp, sporty feel. Everything in here is such high quality as you'd expect from BMW. But you also get an awful lot of standard equipment in here. So standard equipment includes the large, wide, new operating system 7 navigation. You also get BMW's Live Cockpit Professional, which the clarity of those instrument dials is just fantastic. For the first time ever on a Z4, you also get heads-up display, which is a little hologram which projects onto the windscreen and can show you different information. You've also got heated seats in here, you've got cruise control as standard, and many, many more. I mean, the equipment levels in here are just fantastic, and the way that it all feels and the way that it's all put together is sublime. Now that's enough of the exterior and the interior of this car. This is a sports car. So next up, let's get going and take this car for a spin. So then, the eagerly anticipated brand new BMW Z4. We've been waiting for this car for such a long time. We've needed this car, and it's finally here. So what's it like to drive? Well, jumping in straight away, the quality of the interior is leaps and bounds ahead of the previous generation, as you'd expect. It's got the brand new BMW design language inside, and the standard specification, which I've already touched on, is just fantastic. You get so much as standard in these, and the heads-up display is fantastically clear. But it's not really about the interior in a sports car. It's about the way that it drives. Now the previous generation was kind of near or there a tourer or a sports car. However, this model is solely aimed at being a sports car. Now, does it tick those boxes? Well, first things first, the looks of it. I think it definitely looks like a sports car. I think BMW have absolutely nailed the look of this car. Absolutely nailed it. Now the engines. The car that I'm in today has the 20i petrol, which is a 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, which produces just under 200 brake horsepower, which is enough to propel this car from 0 to 60 in 6.6 seconds. Now the speed of the car isn't the only thing with a sports car. It needs to sound the part as well, and I'm happy to report this little engine really does. I think it sounds great. For a 2-litre little 4-pot, I think it sounds like a proper sports car. It really, really does. The pickup is very good. The gearbox as in all of these modern BMWs, is fantastic. It's the 8-speed ZF box that we've come accustomed to, just tuned to be a bit more aggressive. Now the ride quality is completely different to the previous generation. This soaks up bumps fantastically well. Ironically, this is actually, I think, a better Grand Tourer than the previous shape, which was more sort of aimed at that way. However, when you put it into sport, it firms up, it becomes very rigid, very hard, and very, very responsive. The steering is fantastic. You can point the front of the car anywhere. You know exactly where those front wheels are at all times. The chassis of this car has been specifically designed for the Z4 in conjunction with Toyota, who at the same time as producing this were producing the Supra. Now this car, as I'm sure you may know, has been developed in conjunction with that car and shares an awful lot of its components and interior with it. But the chassis is fantastic. It's so well balanced. The car feels like it pivots around you really, really well. And this chassis, rumour is going to be used on the next generation of 2 Series, which is definitely not a bad thing because it's just fantastic. Now the wind noise in here is actually very, very good. I'm sitting quite low down. I'm not the tallest of people, admittedly. However, the wind in here isn't very intrusive at all. In some sports cars you get absolutely buffeted around. The wind deflector, as you can see, is joint with the rear hoops. Now that can lift out. The roof is the fabric top, which can go up and down up to a speed of up to 30 miles an hour, and it does it in a ridiculously quick time. You really can put it up and down at a set of traffic lights if you wish. The dials in the centre are exquisitely built. They offer such a clarity on your speed and other information. And this car, I mean, this is the basic car. This is the 2-litre smallest engine. You obviously do get the 30i, which is a slightly more powerful version of this engine, and then above that you've got the M40i, which features the 3-litre 6-cylinder engine that we all know and love from the M140 and the M240. Now in that car it produces 340 brake horsepower in the UK and can propel the car from 0 to 60 in a mere 4.6 seconds. The engine in this car is just so responsive, it's so playful, it's so much fun. This is just such a great little car. It's so much better than I anticipated it to be. I mean, I knew it was going to be fantastic, but it's just, BMW continue to absolutely nail it. Put your foot down and just listen to that. I mean, it's so much fun, and the sound and the way that it makes you feel, it's such a great experience. I mean, this is the perfect little sports car. It really is. You just have endless fun in this little thing. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just blown my expectations of it right out the water. I've got to have one of these. Got to get myself one of these. I mean, you just play with the gears. You drop it down, drop it down, drop it down, put your foot down. It sounds phenomenal. It's such a great little sports car. Absolutely fantastic. Now, if you'd like any more information, or if you'd like to book a test drive in the new BMW Z4, do please contact your nearest Rybrook BMW retailer. And as always, do please subscribe to the channel for an awful lot more exciting content to come with this car and many, many others. Thank you guys ever so much for watching, and I will see you next time.